Hare Krishna everyone, thank you for joining today. Let's do Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Jayo Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jayo Kunj Bihari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Jayo Giravardhari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Jayo Giravardhari Shodhanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Shodhanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jayo Kunj Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Agyantimirnasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathamitam Tam Sajiyam Sadhvetam Savadutam Krishna Sedam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivi Shakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatu Prehescha Kirpa Sindhuvevacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Dishatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya excuse me Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasdi Gaur Bhakt Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Garim Yat Kirpatam Vande Shri Gurundin Taranam Paramananda Madham Shitaneshanam Hariyam Tassat Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jamadurya Nashta Presha Abdirishu Nityam Bhagavad-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shlokte Bhaktir Bhavati Nestiki. Okay, so we'll continue chapter 15. We are now verse 17 and Arjun's reflections on what Krishna did for him and how he totally relied on Krishna to provide everything, all his strengths, all his powers, all his achievements are all down to Krishna. Realizes that, especially after the experience he had on the way back with the cowherd boys or cowherd men who defeated him so easily. So let's continue. Just last time we were discussing that Krishna always protects his devotees, and Krishna became charioteer so he could personally advise Arjun. And Arjun was the hero among the heroes in the battle of Kurukshetra, and Krishna was there right by his side to advise him and to guide him through, because there's so many Maharathis on the other side. There are so many boons, benedictions, that Arjun needed guidance how to tackle them. And also how we are empowered according to our needs. So whatever we have, whatever we're doing, Krishna has empowered us for what is needed from us right now. Obviously, if we feel that we need to do more, or we want something that will strengthen our bhakti, that will take us deeper into our bhakti, that we have something that we have a taste for, and that gives us strength in our bhakti, then we can pray to Krishna to please, give us more empowerment in that field, so we can get more taste and strength to continue. For example, say, you like book distribution, but you feel you're not very good at it, so you pray to Krishna that please guide me, please give me strength, that I can do this even better than I'm doing now. So I feel more energized to do my. I can feel that the hand of Krishna there helping me, and just gives me more enthusiasm. So like that. Okay, so 17. Sote vritha kumatinattamat ishvaro me yatpat padmam abvaya bhajanti bhavha mam shranat vaham aryo rathi nabhuvistam na praharan yad anubhav nirast chittaha. So they, regarding a chariot driver, vritha, engaged, kum atina, by bad consciousness, atamda, one who delivers, Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, may my yat, whose padmam, lotus feet, abhavaya, in the matter of salvation, bhajanti, do render service, bhava, the intelligent class of men, mam, unto me, shrant, thirsty, vaham, my horses, arya, the enemies, Rathina, a great general, Bhuvi Stham, while standing on the ground, Na, did not, Praharan, attack, Yat, whose Anubhav, mercy, Nirast, being absent, Chitta, mind. So it was by his mercy only that my enemies neglected to kill me when I descended from my chariot to get water for my thirsty horses. And it was due to my lack of esteem for my Lord that I dared engage him as my chariot driver, who is worshipped and offered services by the best men to attain salvation. So the Supreme Lord, the Personality Godhead Shri Krishna, is the object of worship both by impersonalists and by the devotees of the Lord. In fact, everybody is worshipping Krishna, whether directly or is partial manifestation, or is opulences. We're all worshipping. Everything is Krishna. Everything is the source of everything. He is the absolute, and even the partial is Krishna. So the impersonalist worship is glowing effulgence. That's the partial, emanating from his transcendental body of eternal form, bliss and knowledge, and the devotees worship him as the Supreme Personality Godhead. Those who are below, even the impersonalists consider him to be one of the great historical personalities. The Lord, however, descends to attract all by his specific transcendental pastimes, and thus he plays the part of the most perfect master, friend, son and lover. His transcendental relation with Arjuna was in friendship, and the Lord therefore played the part perfectly, as he did with his parents, lovers, and wives. By playing in such a perfect transcendental relation, the devotee forgets by the internal potency of the Lord that his friend or son is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although sometimes the devotee is bewildered by the acts of the Lord. So the Yog Maya, it bewilders us and it takes us closer to Krishna, whereas the Mahamaya, it takes us away from Krishna. So it's still his potencies, but one takes us closer, the other one takes us further, because it depends on what we want. So those energies will work on us. Nor any ill estimation of the Lord. Intelligent men are attracted by the transcendental acting of the Lord with a pure, unalloyed devotee like Arjuna. So in the warfield, scarcity of water is a well-known fact. Water is very rare there, and both the animals and men working strenuously on the warfield constantly require water to quench their thirst. Yeah, because they're fighting all day long, and they need to drink water at least. Especially wounded soldiers and generals feel very thirsty at the time of death, and it sometimes so happens that simply for want of water, one has to die unavoidably. But such scarcity of water was solved in the battle of Kurukshetra by means of boring the ground. By God's grace, water can be easily obtained from any place if there is facility for boring the ground. The modern system works on that same principle of boring the ground, but modern engineers are still unable to dig immediately wherever necessary. It appears, however, from the history as far back as the days of the Pandavas, that big generals like Arjun could at once supply water even to the horses. And what to speak of men? By drawing water from underneath the hard ground, simply by penetrating the straight stratum with a sharp arrow, a method still unknown to modern scientists. So Arjun saying that I was able to do all this in the heat of the battle by the grace of the Lord. So Arjun is grateful for Krishna's help, and he knows it's only due to Krishna he was able to do everything. So Arjun told about the fate, Krishna's family and dynasties, the Yadus. Okay. Right, I think we don't need to go through that. Go on to 18. Narmani udar ruchira samita shobitani he Bharat he Arjun sakhe kuru nandaneti sanjal pitani nardeva hridi saparshani samatu luthanti hirdayam madhavasya. So Narmani, conversation in jokes, udar, talked very frankly, ruchir, pleasing, samit shobitani, decorated with a smiling face. He, note of address. So, hey, note of address. Parth, O son of Pritha. Hey, note of address again. Arjun, Sakhe, friend. Kuru Nandan, son of Kuru dynasty. Iti, and so on. Sanjal, Pitani, such conversation. Nardev, O king. Hirdi, heart. Sparshani, touching. Smarthu, by remembering them. Lutanti, overwhelms. Hirdayam, heart and soul. My Madhavasya, of Madhav Krishna. Okay. O king, his jokings and frank talks were pleasing and beautifully decorated with smiles. His addresses unto me as O son of Pritha, O friend, O son of Kuru dynasty, and all such heartiness are now remembered by me, and thus I am overwhelmed. Yeah. So that's 18. So Arjun is really thinking back and everything, all the, even how Krishna spoke to him and how he addressed him, and that person can become very emotional when he thinks about like that, how they recognized me, and how they acknowledged me all the time. So it's he's getting very emotional. Shaya sanatan vikatan bhojnatishav aikyat by yasya ritvan iti vipral badaha sakhu sekheva pitrvatanyasya sarvam sehe mahan mahitya kumate agamne. So Shaya, sleeping on one bed, Asan, sitting on one seat, Atan, walking together, Viktan, self-adoration, Bhojan, dining together, Adishu, and all such dealings, Ekyat, because of oneness, Vayasya, of my friend, Ritvan, truthful, Iti, thus, Vipralad, Buddha, misbehaved, Sakhu, onto a friend, Sakha, Eve, just like a friend, Pitrvat, just like the father, Tan Yasya, of a child, Sarvam, all, Sehe, tolerated, Mahan, great, Mahitya, by glories, Kumetha, of one who is of low mentality, Agam, offense, may mind. So generally, both of us used to live together and sleep and sit and loiter together. And at the time of advertising oneself for acts of chivalry, sometimes if there were any irregularity, I used to reproach him by saying, my friend, you are very truthful, even in those hours when his value was minimized. He, being the Supreme Soul, used to tolerate all those utterings of mine, excusing me exactly as a true friend excuses his true friend, or a father excuses his son. Yeah, so as friends, you can, friends have a banter between them, and they will tease each other and just remind of the shortcomings, or just underestimate them. But that's friendship, it's just something you can have a laugh about, or tease each other, just take shots at each other. It happens. Sometimes a friend may get upset that why are you doing this, and you remind them that I might be saying this to you, but I will not allow anybody else to say this to you. So, friendship is friendship, and you forgive each other because you're there for each other. Since the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna is all perfect, his transcendental pastimes with his pure devotees never lack anything in any respect, either as a friend, son, or lover. The Lord relishes the reproaches of friends, parents, or fiancés more than the Vedic hymns offered to him by a great learned scholar, and religion is in an official fashion. So Krishna loves relationships. That's the bottom line. Instead of over reverence and lots of praise, anybody can do that, and it's usually done for your own benefit. You want something, a lot of times the prayers are done for that, because first you pray and then you ask Krishna, can you do this for me? Even the demigods, they will give a prayer. Brahmaji will do a prayer and then say, Krishna, we need this help. But relationships are relationships, and there's a lot of emotion in relationships, and there's a lot of exchange, loving exchange in relationships. So Krishna prefers relationships rather than just over reverence and glorifying him. He is Atmaram. He doesn't need any glorification as such, although we do it because it's important for us, not for him. It's important for us to do, so we do it. So it's mentioned that the scholars' prayers are based on the head, not on the heart. This is the difference. So when we are praying, we're thinking from the head rather than doing from the heart itself, because we want something. Krishna prefers devotees who pray from the heart, He wants to engage our heart. After engaging hands and head, also engage the heart. So even when we're doing singing the Mahamantra, we're doing Kirtan, say sing from the heart, because everybody can sing from the tongue and the mind, but give your heart to Krishna as well. Heart is very important because we only give our heart to Krishna, to no one else. So Krishna wants not just manmana bhav mad bhakto, he wants our heart, hirday as well. And that's very, very important. Even when we are chanting on the beads, we should be chanting from the heart. We should mean it, because when you chant from the heart, that's when you really mean it. Soham napendra rahita purushottamena sakhya priyena surda hirdayena shunya advani urukram prigraham yangakrakshan gope astabir ableva vinijitosmi. So that aham, myself, Anarpa Indra, O Emperor, Rahitaha, bereft of, Purish Uttamena, by the Supreme Lord, Sakhya, by my friend, Priyena, by my demos, Suhrda, by the well-wisher, Hridayena, by the heart and soul, Shunya, vacant, Advani, recently, Urukram, Parigram, the wives of all the all-powerful, Ang, bodies, Rakshan, while protecting, Gopehi, by the cowherd, Astabihi, by the infidels, Ablaiva, like a weak woman, Vinijitaha Asmi, I have been defeated. O Emperor, so referring to Yudhishthira Maharaj, now I am separated from my friend and dearmost well-wisher, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore my heart appears to be void of everything. In his absence, I have been defeated by a number of infidel cowherd men while I was guarding the bodies of all the wives of Krishna. And he's like, he can't believe how that could happen to him. He was so confident in his abilities. Arjuna cannot be defeated, and now he's just defeated by ordinary men. Just to give you a mundane example, whether any sport, say tennis is a good example, that number 1, 2, 3 seed gets defeated by a person who's not even seeded, and then just sends out shock waves. It's like this person they're expecting to win the cup, he's already out by some newcomer or something like that. And that's just a mundane example, but this is how Arjuna feels, that I'm supposed to be like the number 1, and these nobodies, and they defeated me. How could that be possible? It's just inconceivable that could happen. So the important point in this verse is how it was possible that Arjuna could be defeated by a gang of ignoble cowherd men, and how such mundane cowherd men could touch the bodies of the wives of Lord Krishna. So not did they only defeat him, they took away the wives as well of Lord Krishna, who were under the protection of Arjuna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has justified the contradiction by research in the Vishnu Puran and Brahma Puran. In these Puranas, it is said that once the fair denizens of heaven pleased Ashtavakar Muni by their service and were blessed by the Muni to have the Supreme Lord as their husband. Ashtavakar Muni was curved in 8 joints of his body, and thus he used to move in a peculiar curved manner. The daughters of the demigods could not check their laughter upon seeing the movements of the Muni, and the Muni, being angry at them, cursed them that they would be kidnapped by rogues, even if they would get the Lord as their husband. Later on, the girls against sages and gods, they keep giving boons, and then Krishna has to make arrangements so to fit everything in. That really has a lot of work on his hands. That okay, he's going to do pastimes, but don't forget to include this and include this and include this. He has to do so many things. So later on, the girls again satisfied the Muni by their prayers, and the Muni blessed them that they would regain their husband even after being robbed by the rogues. Okay. So in order to keep the words of the great Muni, the Lord himself kidnapped his wives from the protection of Arjun. So it's Krishna, that's why he was to beat him. So otherwise they would have at once vanished from the scene as soon as they were touched by the rogues. Besides that, some of the gopis who prayed to become wives of the Lord returned to their respective positions after their desire was fulfilled. So Krishna has to make arrangements for everyone to go back to their original position. They're taking a role in this pastime. And just thinking that, because these pastimes take place in multiple universes, so that's why they tend to differ. Pastime may be different from another universe, because like Krishna is fitting in these curses and boons into his pastime, but that might not be the case in another universe. There might be a different curse or boon that he has to deal with. That's why like sometimes stories differ, and we are told by the authorities that their pastime could be from a different universe, because the Acharyas, they could tune in into, and you don't know like which universe they're tuning in. It could totally different universe to ours. Okay. So that's 20. So this was the final chapter of Krishna's pastime. He had established Dharma, enthroned Yudhishthira. Krishna became those cowherd men. He expanded himself into cowherd men. Arjun was taking the queens of Dwarka because Dwarka was going to be submerged in water. But you can see that Krishna expanded himself into, because only he could, like just mentioned, that he could touch the bodies of the wives. Otherwise, they would have just, disappeared straight away, or before even they got to touch them. There is always Krishna's plan or perspective. If we are not advanced enough to understand, then pray to Krishna to reveal the plan. So there's a lot of things we don't understand. So we pray to Krishna to please give us a realization of what just happened. We have experiences, things happen with us, good and bad, good exchanges, bad exchanges, incidences. So we don't understand what happened here. Why did this happen? So we pray to Krishna, please reveal your desire. What would you like me to do? What would you like me to learn from this incidents? Because it happens all the time, right? Things happen to us, maybe painful, and we beat ourselves over it. How did I allow this to happen to me? And I'm always careful, I'm always alert. Why this happened? And then you pray that Krishna, please teach me why did this happen? It's like Arjun. He's so empowered, or at least he thought he was empowered, and this happened to him. He's thinking, well, why did this happen? Then he's making some conclusions that Krishna has taken away my power because they're no longer required. Which he has because he doesn't require them. But he could have still beaten ordinary men, but he couldn't even beat them. So this is Krishna himself. But in our case, we just pray that please Krishna, this has happened, but now please guide me. Otherwise, I'll never learn my lesson. I need to learn something from this and move forward. So please, at least tell me what I need to learn. Okay, let's do 21. Tadvai dhanusta ishvasaratho heyaste soham rathi nirpatau yat annabanti sarvam shanena tad abhut asad ishagriktam basman hotam kohak radham evoktam ushyam So that the same way, certainly, Dhanute, the same bow, Ishvaha, arrow, Saha, the very same, Ratha, chariot, Hayate, the very same horses, Sa Aham, I am the same Arjun, Rathi, the chariot fighter, Nirpteha, all the kings, Yatha, whom Anamanti offered their respect, Saram all, Shanena, at the moment's notice, that all those Abhut became Asat useless, Ish, because of the Lord, Riktam being void, Basman ashes, Uttam offering butter, Kuhuk Radham money created by magical feats, Iv like that, Uptam sown Ushyam in barren land. I have the very same Gandhi bow, the same arrows. I mean, you can see Krishna's Arjun is traumatized here. I have the very same Gandhi bow, the same arrow, the same chariot drawn by the same horses. I use them as the same Arjun, to whom all the kings offer their due respects, but in the absence of Lord Krishna, all of them, at a moment's notice, have become null and void. It is exactly like offering clarified butter on ashes. There is no longer any fire. Accumulating money with a magic wand or sowing seeds on barren land. So he looks, Arjuna is looking at his uselessness without Krishna. As we have discussed more than once, one should not be puffed up by borrowed plumes. So everything is borrowed from Krishna. Without him, we are nothing. All energies and powers are derived from the Supreme Source, Lord Krishna, and they act as long as he desires and cease to function as soon as he withdraws. All electrical energies are received from the powerhouse, and as soon as the powerhouse stops supplying energy, the bulbs are of no use. In a moment's time, such energies can be generated or withdrawn by the supreme will of the Lord. Material civilization without the blessing of the Lord is child's play only. As long as parents allow the child to play, it is all right. As soon as the parents withdraw, the child has to stop. Human civilization and all activities thereof must be dovetailed with the supreme blessing of the Lord, and without this blessing, all advancement of human civilization is like decoration on a dead body. It is said here that a dead civilization and its activities are something like clarified butter on ashes, the accumulation of money by a magic wand, and the sowing of seeds in barren land. So it's mentioned that we have to be connected to understand what pleases Krishna. Krishna consciousness is a journey to get a full connection to Krishna. Linking all our events in our lives, good and bad, we should link to Krishna. So we have to learn from the good incidences and the bad. What can we learn? How do we connect him to Krishna? What was Krishna trying to tell us? Krishna is the ability in men and women. So I just mentioned he is the source of all abilities. He can also take them away in an instance, like a powerhouse is mentioned. So we get the energy of Krishna. We should use them in his service and get his blessings. As we said before, we should see this as is given emergency empowerment, because we don't know how much time we have. See this as emergency empowerment and use it, not wasting any time. Use it in Krishna's service, because we don't know how long we have this, and we know for a fact at least we don't have it till further notice. Time is ticking, and as we get older, our memory deteriorates, our other functions, our indriya, they deteriorate. We can't hear properly, we can't see properly, and we've seen examples, right? So while we have the faculties, we have the facility, get those sukritis in, get those bhakti sukritis, so we can go back home. And even if we don't go back home, we'll be in a very good position to go back home because those sukritis are never lost to us. That is something that is never lost. Bhakti is never lost. Other kind of sukritis, material sukritis, are lost when we leave, or even if we benefit from them, they wear out after a certain time, and then we're back again, square one. So Bhakti Sukriti is never lost. Krishna, he promises that. So while we have it, we have the empowerment, we have the facility, we have the body in good working order, or whatever capacity we have, use it best to your capacity and get in there, get the job done, because that's why we've got the body. So thank you so much, and let's hear from yourselves. Pundikaksh Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, and Pranam. Hare Krishna, all devotees. I like the story of Astavakra. I mean, Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad-Gita that I am going to make sure all my devotee promises are protected. So Astavakra did that, gave a boon to those girls, that they will get Lord as a husband, but at the same time, because they loved it, they could not stop their love. They were even cursed as well. But to keep his boon, Lord Krishna came himself to. But who else can do that to the wives of Krishna? Krishna only can do it. So Krishna came and did that pastime to keep the promise of Astavakra. And that's all, Prabhuji, for me today.
Thank you, Prabhu. I'm just thinking that, that nowadays, like, we don't have that power to give boons and curses like they used to. But at the same time, we can see that these boons and curses were connected with Krishna's pastimes, right? So any boon and curse that was there, it was part of the pastime. So it was all like arranged by Krishna. It would, or at least if there was a boon and curse, then like I said, Krishna would arrange it that it fits into, especially Damodar Ashtakam, or the Damodar Leela. We can see the Kuber's sons, the part of they got cursed by Narad Muni, and then they became part of that Leela. So like that, now I think it's the Kali Yuga, and nobody is that strong, powerful that they can curse anyone and or give them. Blessings are there. Blessings are always there of our seniors, right? And we only need the blessings, but they can't give the big boons they used to give, and it has to come true like that. The facility is not there, but the blessings. Now we rely on the blessings of the Acharyas, of Srila Prabhupada, of our elders, our seniors, and to move forward. Thank you, Prabhu. Kiran Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. What can I say? Amazing verses. Arjun realizes Krishna has left, and he can see that this has impacted on him. He was a mighty warrior, but even a few cowherd men were able to defeat him. We may have powers, but even the mighty fall. And so we have to recognize that we have been empowered by the divine with all these faculties of intelligence, physical attributes, as well as spiritual abilities. And we have to use them in Krishna's service. And it was indicated that, yes, Krishna descends for us to recognize his pastimes and to be attracted to him. Arjun felt the way he did because he was overwhelmed by his relationship with Krishna. We live in a world of Maya where people are underwhelmed by spirituality. They worship the wealth. that money, fame, and fortune provides. Only temporary. The opportunity to get eternal spiritual relationship with God, the final frontier, has been offered to us. And Krishna has given us these opportunities through his pastimes to develop those relationships with him through our daily bhakti, through our daily sadhana, through our daily association, through our daily remembering, through our daily association with each other. Krishna states very clearly that relationships of the heart are more important than those created with the head. The scholars pontificate with matters of the head. The spiritualist and the bhaktas pontificate, rationalize, debate, philosophize with Shastra. That is the relationship that we are trying to cultivate between us and the divine. Krishna makes arrangements for this to occur. And he wants us to go back to that original place, which is to return back to the spiritual kingdom. Krishna's ways are beyond us. He expands in mysterious ways as the cowherd man. He expands in mysterious ways in our lives on a daily basis. We have to become very vibrant and living whilst the battery still operates in us. The shelf life within us is not permanent. There is a sell-by date for all of us. And to keep that vibrancy, that battery life kicking and energized, we have to be steeped and embedded in Shastra and anchored to his lotus feet. These are the qualities we need to develop as bhaktas, and develop our sadhana to return back to Godhead. May not happen in this lifetime. It's okay. But develop that bhav, that taste, and that prema will surely come. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada said it can happen. So we must try that we can do it in this lifetime. We don't have to leave home, leave families, anything. Lord Chaitanya said, like to the Kurma Brahman. Kurma Brahman wanted to go with in the South India, when Lord Chaitanya went to South India. The Kurma Brahman wanted to go with him. He was very opulent. He had a lot of resources, had a big family. He had everything going for him. But when he met Lord Chaitanya, he invited him to his house, made an opulent feast. And then he says, please take me with you. But the Lord said, no, you have to stay home with your family, chant the holy name, and share it with others. This is the job of this is service of the Grihasthas. There has to be Grihasthas. How do we welcome sadhus? How do we, spread the holy name as to other Grihasthas? Because the sannyasis and the brahmacharis, they do a very hard sell. The Grihasthas do the soft sell, because other Grihasthas won't run away from them. Sadhu, you hear the sannyasis when they're giving class, throw your TVs out of the windows, leave this, leave that, think, can't,
no birthday cakes.
This is impossible, sorry. What about children? They have to watch TV, right? Like the kind of things they tell you to do, because that's the level they're on. But we are soft cell, we say it's okay, just cut down on this, cut down on that, spend more time chanting, do some sadhana, do some deity worships like that, and people understand, you're doing it, and you all seem very happy. We can also try this, like that. So Mahaprabhu says, stay home, set an example for the grihasthas to follow as well. So it's very important. We do that. So if Mahaprabhu has said that do that, which means yes, we can go back home by doing that. He didn't say, oh, by the way, you won't go back home. But he says, you follow this process I've told you. And that's what we're doing. We're following Mahaprabhu's teachings, his instructions as Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And he's do that and everything will be fine. So we have hope that by doing what we're doing, do it sincerely, we can go back home. Now, Krishna says, give me your heart. So otherwise it's a corporate exchange, isn't it? If we don't give your heart. Now this is what Arjuna has done. Arjuna has given his heart to Krishna and he feels a lot of separation. So if we're not feeling separation, that means we have not given a heart. We don't feel any separation when we're chanting and there's no emotions, there's no tears, right? So we have not given a heart yet. So when we start feeling emotions, then we know that we have given our heart to Krishna. Like Arjuna has, he's feeling so much separation because he had totally given his heart to Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Some wonderful, wonderful points have already been expressed already, which is lovely. I think the only things I just to build on really was around how Krishna just wants your heart, and it just basically so simple as we know, as it's stated in the Bhagavad-Gita. He kindly accepts a little water, a leaf, a flower, and it's the loving sentiment that's behind the offering, which is important. So it's just trying to always remember that. And I think, again, as we know, there are no material impediments on this path whatsoever. And even if we don't have anything to offer the Lord, even if we don't have the water, we don't have a leaf or a flower, then we can still offer him such items through our mind. So, and through the mind, anything's possible, essentially. And he will still accept that as if it's the real item as well. So, and I think generally thinking as a culture, we place generally in the material world, we place so much value on things that carry almost no value whatsoever. So it might be an expensive brand, it may be an expensive metal like gold, and we feel like, oh, we want to offer something like that. But really, all that is meaningless if as an offering, if there's no affection behind that. So it's just almost trying to remember that, almost Krishna doesn't see the item that we're giving, it's the love that sits behind it. So that was it, really. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah, just do everything from the heart, chanting, whether you're doing kirtan, whether you're doing offering, do it from the heart. Or at least we can practice. That's one thing we can do. We may not have given our heart to Krishna, but we can practice using the heart in his service. We use everything in his service, and heart. Krishna is saying himself, please use that in your service. So let's practice doing that. Ajay Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Sorry, let's go to Queen Mataji. Sorry, Hare. Let's go to Queen Mataji first of all.
It's okay, Prabhuji.
No, it's okay, Mataji. Please do.
Yeah, very nice verses. Again, it's showing Arjuna's humility, how he's realizing and how he's showing that like everything that has happened in his life, all the good, it has been because of Krishna, and he's got no power without Krishna. And we still on the platform, we do little service and we think, oh, I've done this, but it is Krishna who's empowering us. He's the powerhouse. Everything is coming from Krishna, and whatever he has given us, we have to use in his service. And without Krishna, we are nothing. And like Hira Mataji said, we have to do everything our heart and bhav, that's all Krishna wants. And it just reminded me, reading Krishna book, and there when the Brahmana brings a letter to Rukmani, and she wants to give him something, and she doesn't have anything, and she just pays obeisances. So even if we haven't got anything to give to Krishna, offer, just we have to pay our obeisances all the time. And also, I was thinking, like in Bhagavad-Gita, all the instructions were given to Arjuna, and they're for us as well. And here, Arjuna is showing his humility, and again, he's teaching us how we have to be humble and how we have to understand, what Krishna is doing for us. So it's very nice. Both ways we are learning from Bhagavad Gita and from these verses, how to live our life. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mata. Yeah, they also connected. Now, all three scriptures, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad-Gita, they're all connected, and examples are used in each one from each scripture. So very nice. Ajay Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. These verses, just the chapter itself, previous chapter as well, just kind of explains to us how when we link everything to Krishna, then things start to make sense. When you think of the Kurukshetra war or battle, even, it's the what's happened since Krishna's Bhakti has ended, and what happened to Arjuna with the cowherd men was the first dwellers. They defeated the best warrior of his generation. Normally, if you think of these situations without Krishna's influence, without understanding that this is Krishna's will, and it is His mercy, then then it'll be quite bewildering. You wonder, why is this all happening? Where has the Lord gone? And then you understand this is part of Krishna's plan. Different yugas, different situations. We all have our karma to deal with. We all have our own duties. We also have our own blessings. For example, with the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, that is the blessing of Krishna with Prakriti Gone. We have this in a Prakriti, where He's still with us through Bhagavatam, through the holy name. And that's just what we need to rely on, really. Just need to understand that Krishna's influence is always there. Krishna's protection is always there. We just need to take that protection, take that influence. And then even the most strangest situations, like this, even with the Ashtavakra Muni and these, what you call it, his dealings with the Apsaras, it's just like, seems rather strange, the whole, how that situation happened. But then you understand that's actually, it influenced this situation here with Arjun, not being able to protect the wives. It all just fits in together. So that's the thing. We take that into account into our own lives when we come across strange or disturbing situations. Then we can understand easier. We can cope with situations that might be disturbing or it might be confusing. And that's the real blessing there, because a lot of people don't have that understanding, and it can be overwhelming in their lives, and they suffer greatly because of it. And that's why we've got to hold on to Krishna, the whole association of Guru and devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thanks so much. Yeah, this concept of putting Krishna in the center, it makes more and more sense. It's not just living, doing a sadhana with Krishna in the center, but we're living a life with Krishna in the center. It just puts everything into perspective and stops all the noise, in the head, that, like things happen. But as soon as you bring Krishna in there, everything calms down. You think, yeah, it's Krishna's arrangement. He's doing this, and there's a reason behind it. It's fine, like just everything is put into perspective. Thank you, Prabhu. Rani?
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, Krishna has again reiterated through these verses that bhakti is supreme, and whoever is protected, shielded by Krishna is most blessed one in this world. Kauravas, they couldn't do anything because Arjun was protected by Krishna, and all the Pandavas, just like Prahlad was protected by Narsimhadev, and also these beautiful interactions with the Lord, his Arjun's close friendship with Lord, and all this was causing trauma, as we see in our this short life as well. That if somebody is nice to us, we have emotional connections with someone, how it touches us to the core of our hearts. And just think, if you are blessed to have pastimes after pastimes, after births with Krishna constantly, how much that heart would be full of Krishna prem. So just imagine that, and everything is put into context, all these verses. And we have to develop that mood for Krishna, to have that protection from Krishna. Sometimes we wake up with some silly dreams, if we are a little bit late in waking up, how our mind will concoct a stupid dream just to shake us up, that wake up, you're a bit late. So even that shows that there is something we are holding back from Krishna, that our mind has a power to annoy us like that. So this is what is lacking in us. We are holding something just for ourselves, that I am going to be able to do something for myself or something for others in this life. When we come over all these notions in our head, then the surrender will be complete, and we won't be scared of anything, no matter what comes in these three types of difficulties in life: Adidavik, Adibhautik, or Adhyatmik. So to develop that mood requires constant ananya bhakti. Krishna says, Ananyas chintayanto mam. So we have to do that. And with our material bodies, material minds, no matter how much beautiful katha is going on, no matter how much beautiful kirtan is going on, they trouble us. We want to get up, we want to move, we want to have this, we want to have a bit of rest. So everything is perfect, it is just us, we are lacking. Life after life, we have decided to keep something just for ourselves, and that is making us come back to this world life after life. And the solutions are there very clearly in these pastimes. Krishna, like we were discussing in these verses, that everything which we see is so beautifully designed, the boon, the curse, the benediction, and see on a smaller scale, exactly it has been designed for us. Our stupid desires from some life or this life, we have to pay the price for them. They will come as a curse or as a benediction. And this game of cat and mouse we've been playing with our desires, and Krishna is smiling. Go to his temple, go to see your own deities at home. Krishna is always smiling at us, that Jiva Jago. And let us vow that yes, we will do hard work, no matter we will fail again and again. Every day we'll fail somewhere in our sadhana, but we will continue, and this is what Krishna wants from us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Let's catch up again on Wednesday and continue this beautiful chapter. So, Granthra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Prem Nande,
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.